Hello. Welcome to Put Your Phone Down, Bitch. With
come on,
Meg
that was
and
an
Mum.
interesting...
Mainly Murder with Meg and Mum. I am Meg.
I'm scrolling through Instagram.
Put your fucking phone down. I'm
Oh,
going to get
rude.
an on-air light.
That's going to make any difference in the world.
So block your phone
I
signal.
do what I want to do when I want to do it.
Anyway, so hello.
Hi.
Welcome.
How are you?
Good.
Nice to meet you.
Mum's just watched the first episode of
fucking
the summer I turned pretty.
Not because she wanted to, not because she asked to,
It's
not
like
because
this
she needed
podcast.
to.
She's forced to.
She's just, yes.
We
Had
started eating
no
lunch,
option.
and I just got my laptop out and I'm like, here, watch this
Watch
episode.
This. Watch
No,
this
but
through
you
all
are
the
the-
dirty fingerprints all over the computer
You
screen.
are the worst to watch TV shows with. And I'm the same. Where we guess what's going to happen before it happens.
Because so many shows are so
Very
obvious.
predictable, but yeah. So you watch it. It'll be good.
Me.
Get your tissues for season 2, though.
Oh, well, never wink. That's rude, Megan. I don't want to watch a show like that. How rude.
Please don't tell me about your wanking habits. That's my eyes twitching again. It's you. It's fucking you.
Ah, dear.
I can't. Anyway.
Anywho, welcome to Mainly Murder with Megan Mum.
Yeah.
I thought it was funny that asked what my name was.
Yeah, because no one knows
It's
your
like,
name.
No one knows. It's just Mum.
Mum.
I
Just
should have
Mum.
just said, just call me Mum.
Well, last time we were talking about your name, you said you're in the fucking witness protection program.
Oh, I might be. You never know.
Well, I don't think you're meant to say it if you're in it.
Yeah, but nobody knows who. Oh, no, you put a video up now.
Yeah, right.
Fuck. My life is screwed.
Oh, no, you'll have to go back into witness protection.
Oh, can't now. You've just visually ID'd me.
The guy, one of the kids that killed James Bolger has had like 4 different identities because he keeps fucking it up.
What was he do?
Was it James Bolger?
Jane. Yeah, it
I
was
just can't-
the young kid.
Yeah, no, it was. He did get murdered, but
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was one of the 2 boys that killed him.
And what do they keep doing? How do
They
they?
keep saying he's in witness protection. He fucks it up, and they have to be like, "Oh, new identity."
Well,
Just let
fucking leave him roam free and deal with the consequences of it. I know it's all, he's paid his price, whatever, but fuck me. Nah, you deserve whatever's coming to you. A surprise. Let the surprises begin.
I think one of them is in Australia or was in Australia.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Anyway, we're in Australia today.
We've always been in Australia, Megan. Don't be stupid.
The case today is in Australia.
Oh, Australian, mate. Australian?
You
Australia?
will, I hope to God, recognise this name.
Probably not. Unless it's like Ivan Milat or...
No.
No.
Today we are talking about Ronald Ryan,
Oh, okay.
the one you called Ryan Reynolds. We're at the old Melbourne jail. I see how you got confused. They put the surname and then the first name. It was Ryan Reynolds, but his name is Ronald Ryan.
Ronald Ryan.
So Ronald Ryan...
McDonald.
What?
What?
Don't make me kick you.
Good luck from over there.
Me.
Anywho.
Anyway, so Ronald Ryan was actually born Ronald Edmund Thompson on the 21st of February 1925 in Carlton, Victoria, Australia.
Australia.
His parents were John Ronald Ryan and Cecilia Thompson. Cecilia had previously been married to a man named George Thompson, and they had a child together, but they separated when George went to fight in the Great War.
Oh.
Cecilia met Ryan, was that his name? John Ryan, while working as a nurse, and he was suffering from lung disease.
Oh.
They started dating in 1924.
Doesn't sound like a good long-term relationship going there.
Well, yeah. They started dating in 1924. Then Ronald was born in 1925. And then they got married in 1929.
I know. Scandal.
So Cecilia's ex-husband, George, died in 1927 after he fell from a tram and got hit by a car.
Seriously?
Yes.
Where was the tram?
What?
Tram where? Like, does it say where? Like, was it in...
It just said a tram.
in the city and going down Lygon Street? Where? I need more information.
Well, you Google it.
All right. What am I Googling?
Oh, no, not now. Ronald eventually adopted his father's last name of Ryan. And when he had his confirmation, he chose the confirmation name Joseph and started going by Ronald Joseph Ryan, as he didn't like his middle name, Edmund. Fair enough. It's like Edmund Elephant from Peppa Pig.
Oh, God.
I have a toddler. Shut up. The couple went on to have 3 girls, who eventually were made wards of the state when authorities declared them to be neglected.
Oh.
They were sent off to Good Shepherd Convent in Collingwood, which is now the Abbotsford Convent. In 1901...
Still running?
Yeah, I don't think as a convent. Maybe.
Maybe. It could sign you up.
I think that ship has sailed. In 1901, the Good Shepherd Convent was the biggest charitable organisation in the Southern Hemisphere and housed over 1,000 women and children.
It's still open.
Yeah, is it a convent or just like a churchy kind of...
cultural centre.
Yeah, of course. The convent was one of the Magdalene's laundries, which according to Google AI, Magdalene laundries were institutes predominantly run by Catholic orders that confined fallen women, including unmarried mothers, sexual abuse victims, and those considered a burden into forced unpaid labour, primarily laundry work from the 18th century to the late 20th century.
Oh, there you go.
A quote from an article on Bevler Ross Photography was, quote, over time, survivors of the Magdalene laundries at Abbotsford Convent, I want to say convention for some reason, Convent began to bravely share their experiences, breaking the silence and bringing attention to the injustices they endured. Survivors tell of being known as numbers and not names, where you weren't allowed to look up or speak to anyone. They tell of a place where harsh treatment was routine, where the older girls sexually abused the younger ones, but the nuns looked the other way.
Oh, of course they did.
So just a standard fucking girls' home in the early 19 whatevers. At some point in his life, Ronald suffered an injury to his left eye, which resulted in a permanent droop of his eyelid and almost blind in this eye.
In this eye?
That eye.
Which eye?
His left eye.
Fucking right.
I fucking said that at the start.
Oh, all I heard was in this eye. It's like, which eye?
At some point in his life, Ronald suffered an injury to his left eye.
Left eye. Was it his left eye?
You're about to lose your left eye. And then Ronald ended up in Rupertswood.
Ah, Rupertswood.
We spoke about Rupertswood in our Clarkfield Hotel episode.
Okay.
And Rupertswood also had many stories of abuse from former students.
Right.
Because, can't have an institution without abuse. Ronald was well liked at Rupertswood. He was the captain of the football and cricket team and was known as a protector of smaller children. Ronald absconded from Rupertswood in September 1939 and started working in Balrandal, New South Wales, with his half-brother. Most of the money he earned, he sent back home to their mother.
Oh, that's a good boy.
When Ronald was 20, he'd saved enough money to rent a house in New South Wales, and his mum and sisters moved in with him. Ronald's dad stayed in Melbourne and died a year later after a long battle with Miner's disease, phthisis tuberculosis.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The old TB.
At 21, he fell in love with a girl named Clara. She would wait for him by the...
Sounds more like a name for a cow than a
Clara.
person. Clarabelle. Anyway, go.
So she would wait for him by the Murrumbidgee.
Yep.
Was that a river?
Yep.
Okay. Every night after work, and they planned to get married.
Oh.
Ronald then got a temporary job further away, and 2 months later, when he came home, he found that Clara had married another man.
Oh, she's not going to wait forever.
It was only 2 months.
Come on. In that day and age, she would have been a spinster rotten on a shelf.
At 22.
Yep, 22. She was an old spinster.
Ronald went to Tatura, Victoria, and worked as a tomato farmer.
You say tomato, I say tomato.
I say stupid. During this, she's still dancing. Okay. No, you finish up your dance.
No, I'm finished. Let's call the whole thing off.
You're a fucking moron.
Anywho.
During this time in Victoria, he met Dorothy Janet George. And on the 4th of February 1950, they got married at St. Stephen's Anglican Church.
Okay.
Dorothy was the daughter of
a dinosaur.
The mayor of Hawthorne at the time.
Oh.
Well,
Well,
not the dinosaur.
Well, there you go.
Ronald and Dorothy ended up having 3 daughters, Janice, Wendy and Rhonda, and sadly their 4th child was stillborn.
Oh, that's sad.
For a little while, Ronald worked for his father-in-law as a training mechanic, but decided he would earn more money cutting timber near Marysville when the weather was too wet.
That's where Nan and Pa went for their honeymoon.
To Marysville?
Mm-hmm. Well, they didn't have money back in those days,
Yeah,
dipshit.
but like,
Wasn't like, oh, let's go to fucking Hawaii.
okay.
Idiot.
When the weather was too wet to cut timber, he would work as a painter for the State Electricity Commission. Ronald was away from... What?
From summer to winter.
Ronald was away for the weekend in Melbourne when the house he was renting burnt down.
Oh, that was handy.
The arsonist was caught, and he told police that Ronald had put him up to it so he could claim the insurance money.
He was only renting, you said.
Yeah, he might have had like contents insurance or something.
I doubt that very fucking much.
Well, if you're going to plan to burn your fucking house down.
Yeah, he didn't do that.
He went to court in 1953 and was acquitted on the charge of arson.
See?
In 1956, Ronald was in court again for passing bad checks and was given a bond. He was then in court again after he forged a bunch of checks in Warrnambool.
Yeah, Warrnambool.
He received another good behaviour bond after the arresting detective gave
How
him...
good do they think he was going to turn? Here's a good behaviour bond. Here's another one.
Well,
2 good behaviour bonds? Like 1 good man.
he received another good behaviour bond after the arresting detective gave him a good character reference.
Oh, see? Yeah, he's a
Yeah.
good bloke.
The first time Ronald served prison time was at Bendigo Prison.
Might have been with Uncle Bill.
Did
he go to Bendigo? Was that one of his jails?
Probably.
One of his jails of choice?
The governor of the Bendigo prison at the time was Ian Grindlay, who later became the governor of Pentridge Prison.
Oh, probably met up with her later.
Ian said that Ronald seemed to want to better himself. He was studying his matriculation.
I'm not going to make eye contact with you at this point.
Matriculation, which is the successful completion of 12 years of formal schooling.
Matriculation.
That's it.
Yeah.
I finished 12 years of formal schooling and I turned out like this.
I didn't. Oh, fuck.
And in August 1963, he was released on parole. For a couple months after his release, he worked as a clerk, and one day on his lunch break, he just never came back.
Oh, fair enough.
He did start robbing butcher shops and would use explosives to blow their safes open.
Oh, wow. Okay.
On the 4th of January 1964, Ronald and 2 accomplices were caught after robbing a shop, and he was charged with breaking and entering and theft. You do, boo.
Oh, please. You just wanted a chuff.
No, it's just easier to cut the whole section out.
Huh?
It's just easier to cut the whole section out.
What do you think?
What do you mean you think? You don't fucking edit them.
I do everything. Anywho.
On the 3rd of February...
blanket for when it's cold.
Oh, fuck off.
It's not hot.
On the 3rd of February, he was bailed and then fled to New South Wales. Between April and July of that year, he committed 9 robberies in New South Wales.
Go Ryan.
Why are you dancing?
I don't know. I'm just keeping warm.
Okay. Do you want a blanket?
Do me exercise. Keep warm. No, it's all right. I'll just fucking freeze. No. Read your little story.
I'll get you a blanket. Fucking bitch.
You're very aggressive, aren't you? I'll get you a blanket, you fucking bitch.
I've just given Mum a giant blanket that has like giraffes and fucking all sorts of jungle animals.
Did you use it?
No, not really. Everyone got a blanket with their name on it for Christmas. Anyway. So Mum's got her blanket. She's cool. She's going to stop bitching now. While visiting... So he committed robberies in New South Wales.
Yep.
While visiting Victoria on the 14th of July 1964, he was arrested, and in November, he received a 8-year prison sentence for breaking and entering and was sent to... Pentridge Prison. So Pentridge Prison...
It's in Coburg.
...was established in 1851. In 1924, Pentridge replaced the Melbourne jail as a main remand and reception prison for the metropolitan area. In 1929, Melbourne Jail, why can't they just spell it jail, was closed and its prisoners were relocated to Pentridge. So while in B Division, Ronald met Peter John Walker, who was serving 12 years for bank robbery. Also while in prison, Ronald found out that his wife wanted a divorce.
Gee, why?
His plan was that he was going to escape, go work it out with her, and the family would flee to Brazil as they didn't have an extradition treaty with Australia.
Yeah, okay, good call.
Peter Walker...
Where was he paying for this? Oh, he'd have to steal the money.
Yeah,
that's all right. Go on.
Peter Walker decided that he was going to join him. I don't know.
Family vacay.
I don't know if he was going to go all the way to Brazil as well, but he was breaking out with him.
You know.
So on the 19th of December 1965, Ronald and Peter scaled the prison wall and ran across the top to the prison watchtower. On this day, it was also the staff Christmas party.
So
there was
staff were pissed.
less prisoners.
Yeah,
They'd be swapping, they'd be drinking, all sorts. In the watchtower was prison officer Helmut Lange, Lange. Lange? His first name was Helmut. They managed to gain Helmut's They managed to gain Helmut's M1 rifle and demanded that he open the gate. Helmut agreed to open the gate for them, but then deliberately pulled the wrong lever.
Uh-oh.
And if you like the Emperor's New Groove, pull the lever, Kronk. Wrong lever.
Oh my God.
Anyway, Ronald and Peter didn't know that he had pulled the wrong lever and headed down towards the gate to find that it hadn't opened. They had brought Helmut down with them.
I was just going to say, did they leave him up there going,
No, they brought him down.
Mm-hmm.
When they realized the gate wasn't open, they marched him back to the tower with the rifle in his back, and he pulled the right lever.
And no one knew they were missing during all this time.
Well, they planned it really well with the Christmas party. There was less staff out, and the staff that were in the party were probably drinking. Mm-hmm. This is a fucking third cheese.
It's not rotten this fucking island. Come on.
Ronald and Peter went through the gate and then into the prison car park. Oddly, when they reached the car park, there were 6 cars, but 5 of them had flat tires.
What the?
It's fucking weird.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, God, what were the chances of that?
To escape the car park, they ran into the prison chaplain, James Hewitt, and used him as a shield to leave. They demanded James's car, and when he told them that he hadn't driven in that day, Ronald rifle butted him in the head.
Aww.
Prison officer Bennett was in another watchtower and saw this unfold and then saw them go south down Church Street. Bennett shouted to Peter and ordered him to halt or he would shoot. Peter then took cover behind a small wall of a church. The prison alarm was raised and warders and officers started to exit the prison to assist.
Oh, that ruined the Christmas party.
It would have fucked up their day.
Yeah.
Prison officer George Hodson was one who responded to the alarm and was told by Bennett that he had Peter Walker pinned behind the church wall. George Hodson found Peter and the two struggled over his gun. Peter managed to get free and now both were running down the street towards Ronald. Ronald was now at the intersection of Sydney Road and O'Hays Street, waving his rifle around, trying to get a car to stop so they could steal it. Frank and Pauline Jazorski?
Yeah, sure.
were travelling down Champ Street. Champ? Did I misspell that?
I don't know.
When Ronald stopped in front of them with his rifle. Frank turned the car off and got out. Pauline refused to get out of the car. Eventually she was persuaded to get out, but then she went back in to get a handbag.
As you do.
Well, yeah. By this time, Warder William Mitchardson had reached the car and grabbed Ronald through the driver's side window. Ronald got out of the passenger side and saw Warder Thomas Wallace and George Hodson running towards him. Apparently, George Hodson was now holding a pipe.
Okay.
Bennett from the watchtower shouted down to them that he had his rifle aimed at Ronald. George continued to run towards Ronald when Ronald then allegedly aimed his gun at George and fired. George then fell to the ground. He had been struck by a single bullet that exited through his back about an inch lower than the point of entry in his right chest. George Hodson sadly died in the middle of Sydney Road.
Oh.
Ronald and Peter ran past George and stole a blue sedan from its driver and fled the scene. They ended up at the safe house of Norman Harold Murray. Then the next day they moved into an apartment on Ormond Street in Elwood, owned by Christine Atkin. On Christmas Eve of 1965, Ronald and Peter robbed an ANZ bank. They herded 13 people into the bank storeroom and stole £4,500, which today would be about 75 grand.
Still not a lot.
It's not bad.
I wouldn't mind not a lot for a bank.
I wouldn't mind 75 grand.
Yeah, but it's...
On the same day, the Victorian government offered a £6,000 reward for information leading to the capture of Ronald Ryan and Peter Walker. The Attorney General also issued a warning to the men that the hanging act was still in force.
Woohoo! We get you, we hang you.
You might change a tune by the end of this. That night.
I do know what happened at the end of this, but anyway.
I know, but...
But what?
Anyway. There was a Christmas party at Christine's flat. After there was no more alcohol, Peter and Christine's boyfriend, Arthur Henderson, not arthritis.
Hendo.
Arthur Henderson left to go to a Sly Grog in Albert Park to get more drinks. After about an hour, Peter returned to the flat alone.
Uh-oh.
He had shot Arthur in the back of the head in a Middle Park toilet block.
Why? What are they doing?
I don't know. Ronald and Peter quickly left the flat, and on the 26th of December, Christine was charged with harbouring the pair.
Yeah,
She'd come forward to the police after Peter had killed her boyfriend.
Well, she probably had a little bit shitty at that point.
A little bit of resentment.
What happened to my boyfriend? Oh, he's dead in a toilet block.
Yeah, my bad.
The
pair then made their way to Sydney on New Year's Day. Ronald went to the house of a woman that he knew, but found that she wasn't home. Her daughter was, and they made arrangements for the woman to meet with Ronald on the 6th of January at the Concord Repatriation Hospital.
Repatriation would
Sure,
be
let's
my
go
guess.
with that. The daughter had Words are hard.
Keep going.
The daughter had recognised Ronald from all the media coverage.
Of course.
And she tipped off the police.
Oh, good girl.
On the 6th, Detective Inspector Ray Gunner Kelly.
Gunner.
That's a fucking cool name
That
for a
is
cop.
Gunner.
So Ray Gunner Kelly and 50 police officers set a trap for Ronald and Peter. Ronald and Peter pulled up to the hospital car park, and Ronald tried to use a nearby telephone box, but it had been deliberately put out of order. So he walked over to a neighbouring shop and asked to use the phone there.
Well,
As a connoisseur, I could just you fucking...
I was just tucking myself in. I was just getting a bit
okay,
cute. Cool. Got me a little Logie blanket. Can you get one with my name on it?
No.
Oh.
So he walked over to a neighbouring shop and asked to use the phone there. The owner had already been instructed to tell Ronald that his phone was also out of order.
And Ryan didn't get a bit sus of all this?
As Ronald walked out of the shop, he was tackled by 6 detectives.
Did they get him?
You'd hope 6 against 1. You'd
hope
fucking hope so.
Yeah.
At the same time, Detective Sergeant Fred
Flintstone?
Carhan thrust a shotgun through the car window and held it at Peter Walker's head, and he was captured without a struggle.
Oh, I bet he was.
In the boot of the car,
Oh, Jesus.
officers found 3 pistols, a shotgun, 2 rifles, an axe, 2 coils of rope, a hacksaw, 2 boiler suits, and a jemmy.
Oh, they had
Or
a bit of
crowbar.
fun playing, didn't they?
Yeah. At this point, Ronald and Peter had been on the run for 19 days.
Wow. Not a bad effort.
Well, yeah, 19 days. It's not bad. But then again, it's not like cameras and social media and all sorts. They would have been captured like
True.
hours later.
True. Would have been like that show where they have to run and try to get to without being caught.
The Amazing Race?
No, isn't there the one where the police, they're like in a...
Yeah.
Whatever that's called. Like the only one I watched was the MCG, and the one couple got caught entering the MCG and the other one got to the helicopter and took off and won the money.
There's one I keep seeing on TikTok.
I feel like it's not the trader, it's the...
The Apprentice.
No.
I don't know.
Come on.
There's one I keep seeing on TikTok, and they go into a house and they have to hide, and then like a kind of like a special forces guy, they hire him. Yeah, like a special forces guy will go through the house and try and find them, but they go all out. Like they cut fucking holes behind pictures, and
Okay.
yeah, it's really cool. You can never see the whole parts on TikTok. It's really annoying.
Hunted. Hunted was the show where they had to try and stay at friends' houses, and they had to get from one location to a set place without being caught.
Well,
yeah.
Ronald, Ryan, and Peter Walker would have been great
No,
at
but
that
just
for
like you
90
said,
days.
because of security and
yeah, it'd be so
cameras
hard.
and whatever, they're sitting in the thing watching them. So
And every other person has like a Ring doorbell now,
Yeah.
and yeah, it'd be so hard. Obviously easier in the 1950s.
60s.
Yeah, that one.
Mm-hmm.
They were extradited back to Melbourne and were jointly tried for the murder of George Hodson. Apparently, while travelling back to Melbourne, Ronald made 3 verbal confessions to police admitting to shooting George, but when later asked about it, he denied them. The rifle that Ronald used had never been scientifically tested by ballistic experts to prove that he had fired a shot.
Hang on, who's this is the guy they shot in the toilet? The girl's boyfriend?
No, the
Someone else.
officer when they did the first escape. The fatal bullet and the spent cartridge casing were also never recovered. The case heavily relied upon...
Did you want to start again? Did you want to have a nap?
Yeah, everything.
Okay, here she goes.
The case heavily relied upon eyewitnesses. Most of them testified to different accounts of what happened. Some said that Ronald was standing. Some said they saw Ronald waving and aiming his rifle. Not sure how you do the waving and aiming, but anyway. Some said that he was standing. Some said that he was walking. Some said that he was squatting. Some said
was he even there? You sure he was? Sure it was him? Was he there?
Some said he was on the left of George. Some said he was on the right of George.
Some said he was doing the hokey pokey. Was he?
And he turned himself around.
Right.
Only 4 of these witnesses testified they saw Ronald actually fire a shot, but most only heard the noise of a gunshot. At the trial, all the prison officers testified that they never saw George carrying anything, although 2 witnesses testified that they saw him carrying something that looked like an iron bar or a baton. Ronald's defense lawyer, Philip Opus... I feel like if you want a defense lawyer, you want Philip Opus.
Oh, okay. Is he still around?
No.
No.
You want a Philip Opus. You want
okay.
someone like Philip Opus.
Right.
Philip
so
Opus.
not him himself.
That's really fun to say. Say Philip Opus.
Sounds like Philippoussis, the tennis player.
It does, but it's Philip Opus. O-P-A-S.
Okay.
So Philip Opus
Oh, Jesus Christ.
brought in a human skeleton to court to visually explain that the trajectory of the bullet entered George's chest in a downward trajectory. They also brought in a mathematics professor from Monash University to explain that after calculations, Ronald Ryan would have had to been 8'3" for the bullet to enter George the way it did. Ronald Ryan was 5'8".
Right.
Witnesses also testified that they did not see George in a stoop position before the shooting. He was running towards Ronald. They suggested that George must have been shot from an elevated point, possibly like from an officer in a watchtower.
Oh, so I think one of his own shot him.
But this theory was dismissed by the trial judge. How do you fucking dismiss that you'd have to be 8 foot tall?
Well, he might have thought he looked tall.
Oh.
Depends how far away. Was he sitting very far away? Does he wear glasses? Contacts?
What?
He said, don't worry.
Anyway.
Anywho.
Ronald had also kept the rifle to prove his innocence in the event of recapture, as he knew that forensic microscopic markings on the spent bullet would prove that it was not fired from his rifle. But they didn't have the bullet. But you said
they didn't test it.
Yeah. There was also, I didn't really put it in here, there was something that all the guns had like 8 bullets. His was missing 1, but when you cocked the gun or something, it would, like the way he cocked the gun, if you did it wrong, the bullet would fall out, and there was like a bullet in that first helmet's watchtower.
Okay.
So, on the 8th day of the trial, Ronald took the witness stand.
You're trying to say he was innocent, are you?
You be the judge at the end.
You be the judge.
I still don't understand how from the mathematics, I don't understand mathematics in general.
I was going to say,
but
that's where your first problem lies.
It was a downward trajectory.
Yeah.
Like, how?
Yeah.
He denied, so he took the witness stand. He denied firing a shot. He denied the alleged verbal confessions said to have been made by him, and denied ever saying to anyone that he had shot a man. Ronald was convicted of the murder of George Hodson and was sentenced to death. Later, some of the jurors came forward and stated that they would have never convicted Ronald of the murder had they known that he would in fact be executed. Peter Walker...
Oh, that's irrelevant. You can't make a decision of do you think he's guilty or do you not think he's guilty based on what's going to happen to him next.
Been like, yes, guilty, give him death. They could just be like, yeah, guilty.
No, but they weren't asked to give him anything.
Yeah,
They're asked to, did you think he's guilty or not guilty? And from the evidence is what they're meant to make their decision on, not what's going to happen next.
But they didn't get the evidence of it was a downward trajectory. They were just like...
Then that's the court's problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they when you're on a jury, you don't decide what the final outcome's going to be. It's like,
that's true.
Do you think he did it or he didn't do it? Yes or no is your only play.
Well, actually, sorry, I think it was also because this was 1965 and no one had been executed in Victoria since 1951.
Okay.
So they were like, oh, well, he's
surprised
not
that,
death.
Yeah, and then he shot a cop, allegedly.
Allegedly. Peter Walker was found not guilty of murder, but guilty of manslaughter and was sentenced to 12 years. He was also found guilty of manslaughter of Arthur Henderson and received another 12 years. He was paroled in 1984 and died at the age of 80 on the 5th of March 2022.
Who's this, sorry?
Peter Walker, the guy that escaped with him.
Okay. So how come he wasn't executed? Oh, because he didn't shoot the cop.
Yeah.
But he shot the bloke in the dunny.
Yeah. Make it make sense.
What?
Yeah. They tried to appeal the verdict, but it was denied in June 1966. On the 12th of December 1966, that would have been your first Christmas. December 19th. Anyway. On the 12th of December 1966, the State Executive Council announced that Ronald Ryan would be hung on the 9th of January 1967. Ronald's defense attorney, Philip Opus, really believed in his innocence. He started working without pay and exhausted every avenue of appeal he could for Ronald.
Wow.
He even flew to London to petition the Judicial Committee of Privy Council, which is the highest court of appeal for the Crown dependencies.
Wow.
This delayed Ronald's execution, but unfortunately even this was denied, and on the 23rd of January 1967. In a secret 11th hour plea for mercy, 4 of the jury members sent petitioning letters to the Governor of Victoria, Sir Rohan Delacombe, stating that in reaching their verdict they believed that capital punishment had been abolished in Victoria and requested that the Governor exercise the royal prerogative of mercy and commute Ronald Ryan's sentence of death. Melbourne's newspapers such as The Age, The Herald and The Sun all ran campaigns.
Well, they're different. The Herald was the paper and The Sun, not the Herald
apparently.
Sun.
Maybe they merged.
Must have.
All ran campaigns opposing the hanging of Ronald Ryan. An estimated 18,000 people participated in street protests and around 15,000 signed a petition against the hanging. Even the Australian Broadcasting Commission, or the ABC, suspended radio broadcasts for 2 minutes as a protest. On the evening before Ronald's hanging, a former Pentridge prisoner, Alan John Kane, arrived in Melbourne from Brisbane in a new bid to save Ronald. An affidavit by Kane, which was presented to Cabinet, says he and 7 prisoners were outside the cookhouse when they saw and heard a prison warden fire a shot from the number 1 guard post at Pentridge Prison the day George Hodgson was shot.
Which would have been in line, was it, with where he was shot outside?
How are you 8 foot tall when you're 5'8"?
No, I'm saying, was he like where the tower was?
I'm not
Could
sure.
he see that obviously it led on to face the street where the guy was shot? Because now he's going, Tower 1 shot him when it was out the back and he,
or something. Yeah,
no way, no.
I'm assuming
obviously it must have been in line.
Police had interviewed these prisoners, but none were called on at trial to give evidence. Kane was immediately rushed into conference with his solicitor, Bernard Gaynor, who tried to contact cabinet ministers informing them of Kane's arrival. Bernard telephoned Government House seeking an audience with the Governor, Sir Rohan Delacombe. However, Bernard was told by Government House spokesman that nobody would be answering calls until 9 a.m, which would be 1 hour after Ronald Ryan's scheduled execution. At 11 p.m, Ronald was informed that his final petition for mercy had been rejected. More than 3,000 people gathered outside Pentridge Prison.
Can I ask, did Ryan kill anyone else? Like, I know he robbed, he murdered, he robbed banks, robbed people, but he hadn't murdered anyone else like the other guy that
I don't believe so. He was just a bank robber.
So, okay.
More than 3,000 people gathered outside Pentridge Prison in protest of the hanging. It comes up as well that, like, because it was a prison officer and he kind of made a dick of him by escaping a prison, they were making like an example of him.
Yeah, of course. They weren't going to throw one of their own under the bus.
Nah, fuck no. Shortly before midnight, more than 200 police were at the prison to control the demonstrators. On the night before the executions, Ronald Ryan was transferred to a cell just a few steps away from the gallows trapdoor.
Yeah,
We haven't been there. That
No.
was Melbourne Jail.
You're looking at me like that was the door we saw. No, we went to the Melbourne jail, dipshit. We haven't done. You haven't done Pentridge. I've done Pentridge.
No, we will do Pentridge.
Okay.
Father Brosnan was with him most of the time.
Oh, he sounds familiar.
Sure. Are you thinking of Father Brown?
No.
Okay.
Fucking Father Brown. No. Father
Ronald-
Brosnan sounds familiar.
Ronald wrote his last letters to his family, his defense counsel, the anti-hanging committee, and Father Brosnan. They were all handwritten on toilet paper and neatly folded. Ronald refused to have any sedatives, but he did have a nip of whiskey and walked calmly to the gallows trapdoor. Ronald Ryan's last words were to the hangman, "God bless you, please make it quick."
Oh.
Ronald was hanged in D Division at Pentridge Prison at 8 a.m. on Friday, the 3rd of February, 1967. The day before your first birthday.
Fuck yeah.
How
rude. You just told everyone how old I was.
Do you want to know her name too? Her social security number? We don't have them here, do
Social
we?
security. That would be my ATO, you idiot. My social security number. Yeah, fucking loser.
Oh, so is that like our tax file number?
Yes, like our tax file
Do you
number.
want a tax file number?
Do you know my tax file number?
Yeah, it's on our ABN, bitch.
What?
When we opened our ABN.
Oh, I'm thinking my ad.
A nationwide 3-minute silence was observed by Ronald Ryan's supporters at the exact time he was hanged. His fellow prisoners staged their own protest. They refused to get out of bed, staged a sit-in, refused to work or obey orders. Later that day, his body was buried in an unmarked grave within the D division of the prison.
That's when you do the prison tour. They show you all that.
When
That's all units are there now.
Yeah.
Yes, they're where the used to be the cemetery. There's units. There's houses along there now.
Nah.
Yes.
No, like
They
I
tried-
believe that
Yes,
there's houses.
no, they tried to move a lot of the corpses, but yeah, that is now units. That's what a lot of people
If
that
you
live there
live there-
reckon it is haunted.
Yeah, fuck you. You're living on top of a
100%.
cemetery.
Go and do the tour. It's fucking great.
We will.
Well, I've done it, but yeah, okay.
We can get it with the red balloon voucher.
I was just going to say that. We
We'll
should
go have a
check
nice
if it's...
lunch.
Yeah, we'll go
We'll-
check if it's one of the ones we can use.
Okay, it is.
Okay, we'll have a look in a minute. Keep going.
Anyway, I think it is because I used to get yours and I could after-pay them through
Yeah.
red balloon.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Okay.
so D Division Prison. 40 years later, in 2007,
Uncle Bill definitely was there. Sorry.
his family was granted permission to exhume his body after George Hodson, guy that got shot, George Hodson's daughter jumped and danced on his grave.
Oh.
I get that you think he may have killed your dad, but there's a bit of evidence that said no, he didn't.
Yeah.
Like that's
And who's the mum or whoever took this kid to the person that
well, it was
shot you?
40 years later, so I don't know. She probably.
Oh, so
like,
okay, sorry. I was like, when you said his kid, I
Well-
was picturing like a little kid.
Yeah, no, well, 40 years later. So, well, that's when it was exhumed, but I don't think she was like a little kid. I think she was probably old enough to think
Go
she...
and dance on the fucking what did that do for you? Like even if some I don't understand what
Yeah.
you would have got out of that.
Unless it was like a Bundy or a Gacy, like a really fucked up one where you're like, wow, you killed my parent.
Yeah.
Fuck you, but
and there's
still.
definitive evidence and
Yeah,
there's no
100%
doubt.
evidence.
Yeah, that's what I don't understand. What that what
don't
you would
know.
have gained
She's
from that.
Got her own.
Like go past and spit on it. Yeah,
yeah, maybe
I could
you,
understand that,
if
but
you think.
dancing and carrying on, I
It's
don't know. It's a
ridiculous.
weird thing to do.
Ronald's remains were cremated and placed next to his deceased ex-wife in Portland Cemetery. They still got divorced. He broke out of prison for her. They still got divorced.
Oh well.
19 years after Ronald Ryan's execution, a former warder, Doug Pascoe, claimed on air to Channel 9 and other media that he had fired a shot during the escape.
That's what I wondered, if he was trying to shoot someone else and ended up shooting the cop by mistake.
I think that's, yeah.
Likely to be what happened.
He said his shot may have accidentally killed his fellow prison guard, George Hodson.
Mm-hmm.
Doug had not told anyone that he had fired a shot during the escape because at the time, quote, I was a 23-year-old coward.
Obviously.
In March 2000...
But you're quite happy to watch someone hang
Yeah.
for what you could have done by accident,
Yeah.
which you wouldn't have been charged. You would have been
It was an
trying to.
accident.
It was an
You would've got
accident. You were
manslaughter.
trying to stop a prisoner
Yeah,
escaping. So,
But no, Ronald Ryan had to hang.
yeah. Wow. How bad would you feel living with that guilt on your shoulders all
Ooh,
these
yeah.
years?
In March 2004, Philip Opus did an interview with the Australian Coalition Against Death Penalty, ACADP, and said, quote, I want to put the record straight. I want the truth told about Ronald Ryan, that an innocent man went to the gallows. I want the truth to be made available to everyone, for anyone young and old, who may want to do research into Ryan's case or research on the issue of capital punishment. I will go to my grave firmly of the opinion that Ronald Ryan did not commit murder. I refuse to believe that at any time he told anyone that he did. So Ronald Ryan was the last person to be executed in Australia.
Mm-hmm. I knew that part.
Did you know I don't think you fucking did it.
Didn't know the other bit about the shooting from 8 foot high and
Yeah, that
all
always
the rest
gets
of it,
like,
but
I don't think he did it.
no. And from this picture, he looked like he was a bit of a good looking rooster.
He's not bad looking.
Yeah.
Even with a droopy eye.
Oh, I didn't even look at the
It's-
droopy
you
eye in
can-
the
if you
photo. It was maybe the angle. Maybe it was the angle of the photo. It was
Yeah,
a
he's not bad
It
looking.
was a side-on shot.
But yeah, that's Ronald Ryan, the last person executed in Australia.
That's sad, isn't it?
Yeah, that he possibly didn't fucking do it. I don't think he did.
You know how in Melbourne jail the trapdoor and everything was like at the side?
Yeah.
Well, at Pentridge, it's
middle,
right
isn't
over
it?
the middle. Yeah.
God, so everyone could just watch.
Yep.
Ew.
From all their cells.
Well, we will do Pentridge. We'll mic ourselves up again and listen to me
Yes.
carry on like a bitch.
Yep.
We'll get those little like GoPro. Can film each other. It'll just be. We'll get you some sort of padding for your arm.
Yeah, because you're a psychopath. But
No.
yeah, no. We'll go check when we can do that one.
Yeah, and it's getting nicer weather as well, so it'd be nice to do a night one. We won't freeze our titties off.
Oh, you're gonna do the night one? Is
there a day option?
No, there's a early evening, and then there's the dark.
I think early evening.
Early evening one's the one Andrew and I did,
Yeah.
because you can still see stuff. It's light
Yeah.
enough when you walk down the street and you walk from one part to the old prison and all this sort of stuff.
No,
So
I think I can do true crime, because most of them are in the past. Most of them are in America. So there's a little bit of a detachment. But like ghost shit, like that could happen to you. Like there could be a ghost in your house. Like that's more real.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that was the one when we were there. They said that a lot
The
of people,
chopper?
when they can see the shadow, or a lot of them say they can see Chopper leaning against the back wall. He always leaned against the back wall with his leg up, one leg up against the wall, and his arms folded. And a lot of people, that was his cell, was right down the bottom of the last cell on the wall.
Yeah. Can't do ghost shit.
Yeah, we'll do that shit.
What?
We'll do that shit.
No, I said I can't do ghost shit.
No, that's not ghost shit. Well, just don't volunteer there. I know there goes the truck with the fucking thing again. I'm going to go and tell them put it in the front
do you know
yard.
where you're fucking going?
I was going to say something then. Oh, there's one bit where they ask if anyone wants to go into a cell, and it's dark,
Okay, I'll do
and
it.
they
I'll wear
shut
the microphone.
You would
Everyone
piss.
can hear me cry.
And they'd hear you piss your pants.
Is there a
you'd
toilet
shit
in
your
here?
pants. No, and I just remember the night we went. It was a younger girl, like early 20s,
Yeah.
with her mum and sister or something, and she went in, and she said she came out and she felt like someone was at her shoulder breathing and touching near her shoulder,
I would vomit.
and there was nothing in the room. It was just a black empty room. But
Do they give you vomit bags? Because I would.
No,
I would.
they don't
vomit.
give you vomit bags.
But then I do want to go to the axe murder house.
The what?
The Velisca.
Where's Velisca? Whatever.
Iowa?
Oh, okay. So
When we go on our big podcast,
when we go on our RV
our
tour,
US tour.
our RV adventure.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
We'll go to the Velisca house, the Lizzie Borden house. We are not covering Lizzie Borden's case until we go to Lizzie Borden's house.
I'm sure Jay would love to look after Logan for a couple of weeks, and we'll just go for 2 or 3 weeks. Just
All right. Well, that's enough ranting. Thank you for listening. Follow us on Instagram, mainly_murder. Join our
and
Patreon.
the email is mainlymurderpodcast@gmail.com.
Yay! Claps for the idiot.
Clicks for mum.
Join our Patreon. Send us coffee. Send us a pigeon.
Send her a mouse.
That was a hiccup. A mouse.
Sounds like a mouse squeaking. Weirdo.
I just have one hiccup. I very rarely have the hiccups.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see you next Tuesday.
See you next Tuesday.
Bye-bye.